What happens at Grandma's stays at Grandma's is a model for you and your grandkids. If it's fun, it's fair game. But lately, hip pain has you grimacing more than laughing. And that's a moment you realize life's too short to put off treatment any longer.
The Joint and Spine Center is Cincinnati's leading destination for orthopedic care, with hundreds of joint replacements each year. So when a moment has the power to change the rest of your life, go to the one place with the power to change it for the better. The Christ Hospital Health Network. This changes everything.
The Pound This Podcast is brought to you by the Christ Hospital Health Network. This is the Pound This Podcast, episode 589, Shay's Weight Loss Journey, weekly updates.
I want to lose weight, but I don't know how to get started.
What should I meal prep every week?
How do I get those sweet booty gains?
Inspiration for your healthy lifestyle. The Pound This Podcast with Amanda Valentine.
Thank you so much for listening to the Pound This Podcast. I am Amanda Valentine. Shay is back. What's up, girl?
Hey, girl.
How has the past week been in this crazy year of our Lord 2020?
Well, I'm still alive, so that's cool. No, I actually had a pretty good week. So this is actually, I think, the first week since like mid-quarantine that I didn't binge at all.
Nice.
So that was like a big deal. So that was cool.
Well, I should have asked you before we start recording, but feel free to shut me down now. Are you open to talking about your documentary experience that you had this week? Or no?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
So, you don't have to go into details or anything, but I know that like one of the things that, talking about, binging and issues and stuff like that, you're going to be part of a documentary.
Yeah. So, there's a girl who goes to film school in New York, and she's doing her like senior thesis on, covering self-harm scars with, tattoos and like how that can be really healing for people. So I actually got a tattoo Tuesday to cover a bunch of scars. And it's actually been interesting to see how I already feel different, just like kind of covering that. So.
Well, and I imagine that's probably helped your brain space this week too. Like you're saying, it was a good week of just kind of like this, this feeling of like empowerment, resolve, all those sorts of things.
Yeah, because there really isn't. It's kind of like once those scars are on your body, they're there. There aren't, other than like surgery and laser removal, there's no way to get rid of them. So, and it's kind of like just part of my life that's just visible for everybody to see. So, it's not necessarily like people think self-harm, like people that do that are crazy. So it's hard to like work in a field where I like am very close to people and really like my clients could see it. Anytime I meet a guy, I have to explain it. It's, so it's kind of cool to remove that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, your tattoo's awesome too.
Yeah, girl.
Like when you sent me a picture, that's where I'm like, oh, is this part of the documentary? Like, is she putting on like these temporaries or something to kind of like make a point? And then you're like, no, it's real. I'm like, oh, that's super cool.
I was like, no, I'm just literally covering my entire body in tattoos in 2020. So.
I mean, why not? I mean, I want to do that too. Like, I'm really tempted. I have one tattoo that I got at the beginning of this year, and I'm really tempted to like get a sleeve just because I think they like look badass and cool. But then I'm like, oh, but I don't know what to get. I feel like I'm going to spend so much time like locked in my own brain about like the right thing to do that I'll just never do it.
Right.
Which feels
it's hard because it's on your body forever.
Right?
Yeah.
So how else did everything else go this week as far as like food, exercise? I know the weather here in Cincinnati has been pretty terrible.
Ugh, yeah. So food was good. I'm trying to consume less sugar because me and my therapist were talking about how like triggering sugar is for me. And for some reason, like, for instance, if I eat a cookie, all of a sudden I think about like eating 20 cookies and eating ice cream. And it's just like, I will never be able to just eat sugar like a normal person. So I think that's a huge part of why I didn't binge this week. Like once I like cut my sugar intake, I quit craving so much.
So how are you with like natural sugars, like fruits and stuff?
I'm still doing fruit. And then I'm using like honey and sometimes maple syrup. So if I really feel like I need like a substitute sweetener, I'll use stevia, but I'm trying to even not do that. So, but I won't cut fruit out of my diet. I freaking love fruit. So
yeah, and I think, I mean, it's so funny, especially like on social media, and which I've been trying to cut back a ton, but even with cutting back and still getting on Instagram, I still see this war of like, don't eat fruit, and then the other people that are like, screw the people that say don't eat fruit. I'm like, why are we having a war on fruit? Like, what a dumb thing to fight about. Like,
I know
it grows in nature. Like, how are we shaming this thing?
Right. And nobody became obese because of fruit.
Yeah, of like all I ate was apples all day, and oh my God, you got to roll me out of the room.
Yeah, that's just not. I'm like I don't struggle with my weight because of fruit.
Yeah, but so. I mean I've had varying instances in my life where having that same really war with myself, specifically with bananas, because a lot of diets I've been on have taught you like bananas are this enemy because they're high in sugar and they're high in carbs. Avoid bananas. And it's just kind of like, oh my God, I don't want to live a life where I'm in fear of a damn banana. Like that just seems, you say it out loud and it sounds so stupid, but it's like, I know there's people listening to this that have done that, or you're doing it right now. And just really sit back and think of like, are the sugars and carbs in that banana really gonna, skate you up, and you're gonna like you're gonna go into a life of morbid obesity because you ate bananas. Like that's just, come on now. Unless you have some sort of food intolerance to it. Like it's just like I don't know how that can't be healthy or regulated. And I mean, I have definitely binged fruit and vegetables before, but I can't say I've ever just like sat down and ate a bunch of bananas in a sitting.
No, I'm good after one.
Yeah, unless it's in banana bread, but then it goes into like you're saying, like a sugar, like you have one slice of banana bread, the whole thing's going down. Like it's just that different kind of high.
Yep. Yeah, I'm like, I just will never be somebody that can just eat one slice of banana bread and go on with my life. Oh my God. I'm going to think about that damn banana bread all day.
Okay, not to go into, like, I know I've gone into this territory before too, of talking into like, just like super unhealthy things that I can drool about for a second. So I'm just going to say this, and then we can leave this part of the conversation. Okay. But there was, and I know there's multiple restaurants that have this, but there's been a specific one that the first place I saw this had a banana bread French toast.
Stop it.
And I'm like, I ate it, and I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm just kill me now because I've experienced heaven.
This banana bread French toast was the highlight of my life.
You're right. I mean, it's pretty close. It's pretty up there. It was amazing. Shit. And I'm like, I can't. That's one of those things too. If like, yeah, it's great if you can have that. And I mean, I would eat it now, but it's like, I can't. That there's no. I'm just gonna take a taste and walk away. Like, oh no, no. I am eating all 5,000 calories of this.
This girl that I work with, this is just like shows how little people understand. Somebody brought like a huge container of homemade cookies into the break room, and I was like, why do people do this? Why is this necessary? Like, keep your fucking cookies at home.
It's because they want to get rid of them too.
I know. And she was like, well, just have one. And I was like, you think I can just eat one? That's hilarious. That is so funny. You're so funny.
It's funny because we were just talking about that last week, about the holidays coming up and people bringing their damn food into the break room.
Listen, and we were supposed to move on from this conversation, but I have a client who makes the most moist, which I know people love that word, banana bread with like chocolate chips in it. It's like nothing I've ever had in my whole life. And I could literally take the whole thing home and sit on my couch with a fork and eat it.
That sounds amazing. I saw a TikTok the other day where they talked about chai muffins, and I'm like, I never thought about chai and baked goods. I don't want to know about this. That sounds awesome.
That's why I won't like any food TikToks, because I'm like, then they're going to show up all the time. And it's going to be hell. You can probably hear those sirens.
Yeah, it's all right. It sounds like you're at my house.
Oh my gosh. I'll get a notification on my phone like, oh, this is what's going on.
I did like a food video just last night though of somebody showed how to make a pulled pork out of shaved sweet potatoes. And I was like, okay, that sounds kind of legit.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm like, I really love the recipes because they get so creative of how to make vegan versions of things.
Yeah.
Which is why I like, why am I blanking on her name? Tabitha Brown. She like is just like, I like how she made like that carrot bacon. I'm like, it just takes so much creativity to make some of these things. And I've made some of them before and I'm like, damn, this is good. I'm just like making like vegan queso and stuff. So like, I save that video. I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever make this, but I really appreciate the thought. And I'm like, damn, why didn't I think of that? That's a good idea. Cause
a friend of,
go ahead.
My friend Taylor's vegan and we made this like vegan mac and cheese together and it was real good.
Yeah, man. I don't know why vegans get such a bad rap because some of that stuff is super delicious.
I know.
But then that's also where I make these recipes and then I'll just sit there and eat the whole thing too of like, oh, this is a healthier version of something. But now I'm just going to chug this whole blender full of vegan queso because I have it in my brain that it's healthier. So it's all right. Just drink it.
Just get a straw.
Which someone messaged me on Instagram the other day and said that one of the questions that they like to ask people is what thing would you like to drink that is not like a beverage? And she's like, mine's like white queso. And I'm like, oh, what a good question. I'm like, mine would be butter. I'm like,
that's like, so upsetting to me.
I love butter. And I could also just drink queso. But I like that.
Yeah, queso is my jam.
I'm like, that's such a good question. But again, let's see, we get on this topic and we just like camp here of like all these like horrible foods to eat. So I think we should spin out of this. Let's go back to progress this week. I know that you went to Shalatis. We didn't get to do it together this week, which we've done before. But how did that go now that you're second class into trying Pilates at Shalatis?
It was challenging, but in a good way. I like it because it's so different than like any other type of exercise that I do. So it's just nice to like incorporate something new. And I am hella sore still, and I did it on Tuesday. So like, I don't think I've ever felt my upper and lower abs hurt at the same time. So, so yeah, it's good. It's just exciting. Like I like previously never was that about exercise and like moving my body. And now I love it. So it's just like what I enjoy doing. So it's cool to like have a new kind of outlet.
Yeah, same. And like I took a class yesterday and we focused on balance. So it was doing like these core exercises, but like one half of your body at a time. And I'm like, I didn't even have like one side of my body was not in the straps on the reformer. And I didn't think that would be so hard to like move my arm and leg and lift at the same time while the other hand was in the strap. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's like working your brain and your body in like ways I've been exercising for nearly a damn decade now. And I'm like, I have never moved my body in this kind of way and feeling these muscles. And it's just like, or you're in straps and you're still like just shaking and you're like, oh my God, like this, it's just, I don't know. It's just so wild. And I don't know. It's just so interesting.
I know. I'm like, I lay down half the class and I'm like so sore. So,
well then, you did that and now you have to go to the gym and work out with Josh and lift.
Well, yeah. And then, so like I worked out with him Monday this week and then I did Pilates Tuesday. So like my legs already hurt so bad. And then in the class, I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I can keep my legs in the air any longer. So yeah, and then I'm still sore and I get to go work out with Josh. So good times. I'm just going to be sore every day for the rest of my life.
Well, it's funny too. And I know he won't listen to this, is that Josh has gone to Pilates too, and I've heard that it kicked his ass.
Yeah, I bet it did.
I'm like, oh yeah, you lift some heavy weights around here, bro. Why don't you get in the reformer and start working them little muscles?
The little muscles that nobody sees.
So I'll have to see. I'm gonna have to like orchestrate this if I can get like Shelly from Pilates and Josh on a podcast together. Or do you know what'd be fun? I'm gonna work on this that all of us can take a class together.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
yes.
then me and you could just clown on Josh. Oh, that sounds so fun.
Okay, yeah. And we can like totally just make it seem like it's just gonna be Josh in the class, and then we'll run in there. And he'll be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Oh yeah, he'll be upset.
Aw, he's so fun to upset because it's so easy. He gets so butthurt, man. I was his first client Monday, and like I immediately started giving him shit, and he was like, I can't handle this early.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm gonna have to make that happen. I think
Girl,
he'd be game for it. That if we just like did like a little private class with us in there and have Shelly be our teacher.
Yes. And then I can meet Shelly.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that would be super, super fun. So
dude, that should just be, I'll tell Josh that's gotta be his Christmas present to us.
Yes. But we have to be able to video it though.
I am not down to be recorded on that.
No, not you, him. Thing. So we just put him off in his little corner and
we'll set up the camera before he gets there.
Yeah.
We'll get one of those hidden ones. Oh, yeah, like those teddy bears with the cameras. We'll just set that in the corner, and then we'll blackmail him. We'll start sending him the videos. And then he'll never talk to us again.
I like that we're publicly hatching this plan. Like he'll never know about this.
Nobody warn him.
Yeah.
Don't ruin this for us. This is all we have this year.
This Pilates studio always has teddy bears. Shh. Just don't question
normal.
it. Yeah.
Okay. The teddy's like Pilates.
Yeah. Oh my God, amazing. All right. I'm gonna start putting this into motion.
I've never been more excited.
Oh my God.
The joy that I'm experiencing just thinking about this is more joy than I've experienced since March.
How could he say no to that? There's no way. There's just so much guilt on the line now.
I'm his client, okay? He should be willing to do Pilates with me.
Yeah, you want to keep the lights on, buddy?
He can do it.
You want to make money?
I can quit paying you, bro. Yeah. You know how many other trainers there are out there? Bye.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is amazing.
Poor Josh. Yeah. He never should have introduced us.
I know. Well,
this is his fault.
He knew what he was doing. He lets me torture him on the regular. He knows what's going on. He let me squirt water in his face dressed as a T-Rex. So, that was, by the way, I should repost that video. And we also did slow-mo of when I was dressed as a T-Rex at the beginning of quarantine and just taking a water bottle, just spraying him right in the face.
That's awesome. So, you know that like little clipboard he keeps when he's training his clients?
Oh, yeah.
So he can never find it. Like half the time he doesn't know where it is. So I already looked up, I'm going to get him this little, like, it's a key finder, but he can keep it on the clipboard.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah, that's his Christmas present this year, man.
That's a good idea. I've given him a silk robe before.
What?
Because on this podcast, one of the first ones he was on, oh my God, couldn't even tell you what episode it was. I asked him, like, because I love asking him all my random questions, and I'm like, dude, do you know anybody that wears a robe? Like, I always see people wearing robes in TV and movies. I'm like, but I don't know people that just like chill in their house in a robe. And he's like, I do. And I'm like, you do? And he's like, yeah. So there was just a joke between us for a while. I guess a lot of his clients hassled him over him being like laying around being bougie in his big fluffy robe in his house. So I got him for his birthday, because his birthday's in June. I got him like a silk robe, and I'm like, this is for the summer months, so you're nice and cool.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
And
if
I'm
he wears
sure he
it.
freaking wore it.
I don't know if he does or not. That's a good, you can ask him when you're working out with him today. Like, hey, do you ever wear that silk robe?
How do you like your silk robe? I'm thinking about getting one.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Well, maybe he will listen to this now, because probably somebody will tell him, like, Amanda and Shannon talked about you for like a solid 10 minutes.
Oh God.
Anyway, shout out to Cincy 360 Fitness.
Yeah.
And also
we're
to,
just giving him a shout out.
right, and also to Shalates, damn near across the street. So
oh my God.
yeah, if you're into this circle of madness of us two, Josh and Shelly, then I think you should know where you should be working out.
Yeah, we have fun.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, on that note, I know you need to go to the gym and work out, Josh. So
now I'm excited too.
Right. So now we can check in next week. See how we're all mentally doing in an election week, but maybe that will soften the blow of chaos, is that we can get Josh and a reformer at Shalates.
Fingers crossed.
Right. Well, awesome. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll chat next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
For info on health coaching and more, go to AmandaValentineBites.com.